This endboard is about to blow your mind. It is one of the strongest endboards of all time in Yu-Gi-Oh history. It is so toxic that your opponent will literally uninstall Master Duel. As you know, decks like Magnet Warriors have easy access to Fossil Dyna. This card's floodgate effect literally makes the game unfun. Because many meta decks today rely on special summoning, this card by itself locks your opponent out of the game. That's why today we are also going to try and summon Fossil Dyna to our field with our hero deck. People were already complaining about DECKLIST's floodgate effect. Now let's see how they are going to deal with Fossil Dyna. So we need to save our normal summon for Fossil Dyna, and that's why we need to start doing our combos with a hero lives. So I'm going to special summon Stratos to my field. And we are going to search for Miracle Ejector as usual. The beginning of the combo will be same if you're already familiar with my previous combo guidelines. So we are going to special summon Miracle Ejector, use her effect, and search for End Shuffle. We are going to activate End Shuffle, return Ejector back to our deck, and summon a second copy of Stratos. We are going to make a second search because it's not hard once per turn. And we are going to search for Duskrow. We will Xyz summon into number 60 degrees. And use his effects, spatial summon Stratos from our graveyard back to the field so that we can make another search, which is going to be Yugioh. Now we are going to spatial summon Duskrow to our field by banishing Stratos from our graveyard. And we are going to search for Masquerade Fountain because I want to spatial summon Yugioh. I don't want to use my normal summon. And now we can use Yugioh's effect, send Shadow Mist to the graveyard. And we are going to search for Elemental Hero Neos. Now I'm going to banish Shadow Mist from my graveyard so that I can search for Polymerization. Now I will link summon into Cross Sheep. I don't need Duskrow anymore, and I need to have this card in my graveyard. You will see why. And I'm going to use number 60 because I don't need him either. Now we can activate Polymerization because we have two Elemental Hero monsters with different attributes. So we are going to special summon Flaming Man where Cross Ship points to. Now we need to resolve this chain, and Cross Ship has to be chain link 1 because I'm going to special summon Stratos back to my field from my graveyard so that we don't miss the activation time. Now I'm going to search for Visioneer Affairs. Let's tribute Flaming Man and special summon Sunrise so that we can search for Miracle Fusion, which is really important for our combo. Now, as you can see, we have two level 4 monsters in our field, so that's why I'm going to Xyz summon into Gallant Granite, and with the help of this card's effect, we will be able to search our Fossil Dyna from our deck and add it to our hand, because we can add a rock monster, and Fossil Dyna, as you know, is a rock monster. Now, we still want to hold this card in our hand. We don't want to normal summon him because otherwise we will lock ourselves too, and I still want to summon more monsters. So we are done with Gallant Granite, we are done with Cross Sheep, so that's why I'm going to link summon into Verta Anaconda. Do not use his effect either, otherwise we won't be able to continue summoning. I'm going to activate Ferris effect and send Masquerade Fountain to my graveyard in order to special summon him. Make sure that you summon all of your monsters in attack position because, as you know, we activated number 60's effect and it says in the next turn our main phase will be skipped, so that means we will enter battle phase immediately. So we need to resolve this chain. Just put Ferris into chain link 1 and Fountain to chain link 2 so that we can chain block Ferris effect. We are going to set mask change to our field and we are going to put increase to our field. I'm not going to continue with increase effect because I don't need to summon anything else. Just keep it, we can use it later. Now because we resolved Ferris' second effect, now we are locked into the hero monsters. So that's why we have link summon Verta Anaconda before we activate Ferris' effect. Now I'm going to activate Miracle Fusion and I'm going to fusion summon Contrast Hero Chaos. We don't need to fusion summon Thunder Giant. So at the beginning, if you remember, I told you that we need Duskrow in our graveyard, so that was the reason. We need at least 2 Masquerade monsters, fusion summon into Contrast Hero Chaos. So now we have an Omni Negate, which is going to be really helpful. So now we can use Verta Anaconda's effect. We are paying half of our life points and send Fusion Destiny to our graveyard so that we can fusion summon DPE. Now, because we use Verta Anaconda's effect, we cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn, but that's okay because we are not planning to. And we still haven't normal summoned any monster yet, guys. So now we are going to normal summon Fossil Dyna. And that's it. Set favorite contact. Use End Shuffle's effects. You can return Stratos and Aqua Dolphin and draw a random card, which can be helpful. We still want to keep one copy of Neos and one copy of Flaming Man because we set favorite contact, so that means we need to access Shining Yugioh Swingman, and those two cards are the required materials. Now let's analyze this endboard. We have Word Anaconda. I didn't destroy with DPE because if I destroy with DPE, next turn I won't be able to special summon DPE because Fossil Dyna literally says neither player can special summon monsters. Now unfortunately we cannot activate Mass Change and special summon Darklow from our deck, but that's okay. If something happens to Fossil Dyna, we can activate Mass Change, special summon Darklow. We can activate Favorite Contact, we can special summon Shining Yugioh Swingman. We can also activate Increase effect and do more plays. We can protect our monsters with Sunrise's effect. We can pop a monster when they are targeted for an attack, and my opponent will definitely try to find a way to get rid of Fossil Dyna, but it's not going to be that easy because normally this card has 1200 attack points. Now because we control 3 different attribute monsters on the field, Sunrise gives 600 points of attack damage to all of my monsters on the field, so that's why this card has 1800 attack points. That's not all. Because we control DPE, all of my opponent's monsters will lose 200 attack points for each hero monster we control in our graveyard. So right now I have 5 hero monsters in my graveyard, so that means my opponent's monsters will lose 1000 attack points. If I want, I can activate DPE, for example, and destroy Ferrous and another card on my opponent's field, and that debuff will increase 200 more attack points. So that means my opponent has to summon a monster that has at least 3000 attack points in order to destroy Fossil Dyna in battle. Okay, so what about card effects? Or what about negation effects? Well, that's why we control 1 copy of Contrast Hero Chaos. This is Omni Negate, so if our opponent tries to activate a card such as Imperm and try to negate Fossil Dyna, that won't work. Or let's say if they try to play Raigeki or Darkhold, we can still negate that. So that's why this board is really tough to break. Because neither player can special summon monsters, they cannot even activate Super Polymerization. We want to build the strongest end board so that we can win our game, and Fossil Dyna is the key for that. And I just remembered that our opponent cannot even tribute Fossil Dyna with Kaiju monsters. Because even if they want to tribute summon, Kaiju monsters special summon themselves to the field. So this time I will still try to summon Fossil Dyna to my field without using a hero lives. So that means I need to find a way to build my board without using my normal summon, and the only card that we can think of is Miracle Ejector because it's a 1-card combo starter, as you know. So I'm going to start by special summoning her to the field, and then we are going to search for Unshuffle. We are going to activate it, and we need to special summon another copy of Status because we need to make another search. Now this is really important because I don't want to use my normal summon. The only card that I can use is Masquerade Fountain. I cannot special summon Duskrow because I don't have any hero monsters in my graveyard because Akko Dolphin is a Neo Spatial monster. So that's why I'm going to search for Fountain, and I'm going to special summon him to my field. Obviously, if you have any other level 4 hero card in your hand, you can special summon him instead and build a different board. Now we will XC summon into number 62 Geras, and I'm going to activate his effect so that I can special summon Status back to my field and make another search from my deck. By the way, Fountain's effect did not trigger because I hard draw Mass Change. I only have 1 copy, so that's why. Now again, I still don't want to use my normal summoning, so the only level 4 card that I can special summon to my field is Duskrow. We are going to banish Fountain because it's a hero monster. Now we can use Duskrow's effect and search for Furnace. Now we are going to XC summon into Gallant Granite. And we are going to use his effects in order to search for Fossil Dyna. Again, we do not want to normal summon him yet, because I'm going to link summon into Word Anaconda first. Now I'm going to activate Word Anaconda's effects and fusion summon DPE. So let's send the materials to our graveyard and fusion summon DPE. Now we cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn, and we haven't used our normal summon, so we're gonna normal summon Fossil Dyna. We are going to resolve and shuffle from our graveyard. We can return Status and Akko Dolphin back to our deck and draw a random card. And we can pass our turn. Again, I don't want to destroy DPE because I won't be able to resurrect him back because we control Fossil Dyna. So this board is still a strong board because Fossil Dyna doesn't let my opponent special summon any monsters on their field, but we have really limited sources to protect Fossil Dyna. For example, if they try to destroy Fossil Dyna by battle, we only have 3 copies of hero monsters in our graveyard, so that means their monsters will lose 600 attack points. So if they summon a monster that has at least 1800 attack points, they can try to destroy Fossil Dyna in battle, but I won't let them because I can still activate DPE's effect. But unfortunately, this board doesn't have any protection. If my opponent plays a card such as Imperm, I won't be able to stop that card because we do not control Contra Seizure Chaos like before. But that's okay because we still have a follow-up play, which is Mass Change. So that means we can resolve DPE's effect, or we can just immediately use Mass Change in order to summon Darklow, which is our main Floodgate Master. And as you know, Darklow is also another problematic card for our opponents, especially in the current meta. So they can get rid of Fossil Dyna, but we will always have another backup plan. So yeah, that was pretty much for today's combo. I hope that you're having fun. I'll catch you guys later.